Here's a review of the Rock Band 3 keyboard controller that was released by Mad Catz. It's cost $79 at all the major retailers and at Amazon. You can see it's kind of a guitar shape. Also has this nice strap that comes with it, so you can really rock your guitar style. Standard controls. This is the PS3 version of this, so you can see over here we have the standard triangle, square, cross and circle buttons. What's interesting about this unit though, for those who don't know, on the right hand side there is an interesting 5-pin DIN, which of course is MIDI out. So I thought, well, let's see what this controller is like. Rather than a game controller, actually as a MIDI controller. So what I'm going to do now is go and hook this thing up to my MIDI out or my MIDI in of my Axiom 25, which I'm using over here just as a MIDI controller. There we go, and switch the unit on. Alright, immediately, because the MIDI cable is plugged in, you can see that the unit over here doesn't have the 4 blinky lights, but realizes it's now running in MIDI mode. And what I've done actually is patched the input of my Axiom 25 through to my Roland MKS30 just for some test purposes, and let's go ahead and see if it works. What you can immediately hear off the bat is that this is a touch sensitive, velocity sensitive 2-octave keyboard. There's no aftertouch, so you can see there's no aftertouch being submitted at all. So what about these interesting controls on the side here? Well, in order to do that, I'm going to have to put the camera down and carry on with this review. Right, so this control on the side here is pretty interesting in that it actually transmits modulation. The further you go to the left, the higher the modulation. So the little touch controller for the game, even though it seemed like it was wired the other way, starts on the right and sends out modulation, and if you leave it there. So in essence it's a touch sensitive modulation wheel. Interesting. Then I started experimenting with some of the other buttons. I haven't quite figured out what this does yet, because it seems to turn combinations of these lights on and off. These three over here send through 3 interesting MIDI messages. Got my MIDI monitor app running on the right, and if I hit these buttons, if I hit the one on the left, the select button, you'll see I get a stop message. If I hit the middle button, I get a continue message, and if I hit the right button, I get a start message. Now immediately I thought these would be MMC transport controls, but they don't seem to be, because I fired up Logic, and even though I've got my Axiom here and I can get it running beautifully with these transport controls, and Logic is listening on all inputs, for some reason the message is different. So these 3, even though they are described as stop, continue and start messages, I can't seem to get anything useful with them. What is useful, however, is these 4 buttons over here. These 2 on the x-axis, so the red square, the pink square and the red circle, are octave buttons. So that's extremely useful. The vertical buttons, so the triangle and the X button, are actually patch change buttons. So right now I've got patch number 1, which you can see down here on my MKS30. If I reach up and press the top button over here, you can see over here the patch is now changed to patch number 2, and the sound is different. The other remaining button, of course, is this one over here, which is right next to the controller. Clicking that doesn't seem to do anything either. It doesn't even send any MIDI message at all onto the MIDI monitor. So all I've got right now is 2 octaves of touch with velocity sensitivity. The keys are a little light, so to get a reading of 127 is actually remarkably light on the touch, but it's not bad. Kind of a synth action feel, pretty quick. But with the addition of the octave switch buttons and of course the program patch change buttons, and being able to strap this thing on as a guitar, notice that this is all battery powered right now. So whilst I have it wired with MIDI, I could actually just buy a wireless MIDI connection and completely be rocking the guitar thing. So actually for $79.99, I am pretty impressed. The keys feel a little cheaper. You can feel this is cheaper plastic than you often get on many other more expensive controllers. But at that price point, I think this is quite a powerful accessory, and I think a lot of people will be buying this just to mess around from a MIDI perspective, not necessarily with the Rock Band at all. So yeah, that should give you a quick overview of what this keyboard controller is like. I'm actually really impressed. This is better than I was expecting. Great, thank you.